Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Number one best-selling author, Ramsey personality, Christy Wright is my co-host today. Open phones as we take your calls about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. A couple weeks ago, we launched the pre-sale on her new book, Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Balanced Living. You got to check it out. And guess what? We got in the books today. So we're ready to ship when September 14th occurs, which is the actual street date on the book. But they're in the warehouse. We're actually touching and looking at real books, not mock-ups, not advanced reader copies. This is the real thing.
It's the real thing. It came in today. Tyler surprised me with it, and I walked around the corner. I was like, oh, my gosh, now it's real. It's in my hands. I can't wait to take one home and show my husband. So
there you go.
It's real.
Well, this is your second one, so it's like, doing a book is a lot of work. It takes a year. It's in some ways, it's more trouble than having a kid.
Well, and it's funny because the process is so lonely. It's you and a computer and Microsoft Word documents, and then the team through editing and design and layout makes it something so beautiful like this. Gosh, it just brings it to life.
Yeah, good stuff. Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. You can get it on pre-sale. We launched Ken Coleman's book on Monday on pre-sale as well. From Paycheck to Purpose, both of those are $20. They're both at RamseySolutions.com, and they both include an extra $100 worth of goodies, meaning all kinds of extra add-ons like the ebook and the audio book and other things as well. Now, you did a live stream last week on this subject. How'd it go?
It was great. It was awesome. We talked about the source of why you feel out of balance, because one of the things I found, Dave, is that we don't know what balance is. We just know we don't have it. And so I wanted to peel away the layers and say, okay, let's talk about the four main causes of why you feel out of balance in the first place, which I unpack in the book. And we talked about that and talked about what to do about it. So it was a great live session. I think the replay is available, by the way, on YouTube or Facebook if anybody wants to watch that from last Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Cool. Perfect. Good stuff. All right, check out this material. It is life-changing, and if you want to talk about life balance or life or money, this is what we're here for. The phone number is 888-825-5225. We answer questions about a little bit of everything around here. Tammy is going to start off this hour in Sarasota, Florida. Hi, Tammy. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Doing well. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
My question is regarding umbrella insurance policies.
Mm-hmm.
Are they worth it? Do they just entice people to sue more frequently or go after more beyond that as well?
No, I don't think there's any indication of that. I think that people are enticed in a lawsuit-happy world to sue for anything anyway. And so I think they're worth it. I mean, you can get $1 million umbrella policy that attaches to the top of the liability on your car and your homeowners, which is usually up to $500,000. So that gives you like $1.5 million total. In most areas, you can get that for $200, $300, something like that, from an independent insurance broker or from your insurance broker to match up with your current coverage on your P&C. And yeah, it's worth it once you've got a net worth or something that gives someone the indication that they might be able to get something out of you. And so in a lawsuit-happy world for $300, I always recommend that when you got a $500,000 net worth and above, or if you're doing something that makes people think that you do.
You talk about that with women in business or anybody in business, but specifically you and I have had conversations around this, around business boutique, women that are in a business that either they have a lot of wealth or even the appearance of wealth that would make someone want to sue them, and that it's a good idea whenever. And even thinking about that from an incorporating standpoint, you talk about that.
For instance, if you were doing something that, we around here we call it spotlight work, where you're in the media, or you're in a spotlight of some kind, or that gives people the idea that you could be you'd be ripe for the picking if you happen to bump into them with your car.
Yeah.
And so I carry a $10 million on me. Because if I bump into somebody, they're going to go, "Oh yeah, everything's okay. What's your name, Dave Ramsey?" "Oh God, my back!" So that's kind of the way I'm looking. I'm a little bit cynical, and I have a good reason to be. So, I think they're worth it, to answer your question, and we recommend them once you've gotten up. You don't need one if you've got a negative net worth or $100,000 net worth or something, unless you're doing something that gives the appearance that all I'm trying to do is hand off the lawsuit to an insurance company, because it doesn't change anything, but they're gonna fight it or settle it or whatever they're gonna do, versus me. That's all it amounts to. I could self-insure through $1 million or $10 million hit, but for the few dollars that it costs to buy it, it's a really good buy in the insurance world.
To not have to deal with it.
Yeah, just and they can go over. And the sad thing is they'll settle a lot quicker than I would.
Yeah.
Because I can't stand a fraud. So I get all principled about it, and then it turns
I will run this into the ground.
It turns into a long fight. It's an expensive fight, and the goobs at the insurance companies will just write a check.
Yeah.
So Raven's in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, Raven. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I was wanting to know whether or not to pay off my mortgage, or I'm about to inherit some land, and we want to save to build a house. Which one would be the better option? We owe about $50K on our house now, and we earn about $14K by Airbnb in it.
Okay. Well, it's kind of the same thing, because you're going to sell your house to pay off to build the house eventually, and so paying off your house is like saving it. Because you're not going to keep it, not and go get a mortgage on your new house you build. Not if you do what I tell you to do anyway. So, no, I would not keep a paid-for house as a rental and then go take out a mortgage to build a house. No, I would not do that. So I'm going to tell you to sell your house at that point when you're ready to build. So the money's going to come out of it, and so either way, the money's going to be available for the build.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So mainly just throw it at the mortgage. That way, it's for sure saved.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. If you decided to go build a home, you could take out a construction loan, which is what most people do, if they're going to borrow money, that is, to build a home on the land. And the bank doing that's going to require you get a pre-approval for your permanent mortgage. That's called a takeout letter. To show that you can convert the construction loan to a permanent mortgage at the time the loan is finished. And part of that will be, we're going to sell our house like the month before the house is completed. So we move in, and we're going to free up all of that money, and it'll be the down payment and you'll have a mortgage or no mortgage or whatever you have at that point out of that construction loan. So the construction loan will be larger than the permanent because you'll sell your house and use the money out of it. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense?
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what you do. And I love paying down the house versus throwing it in savings, because it's harder to buy a bass boat with that money then.
It's accounted for.
You can't get to it as easy.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today
Open phones at 888-825-5225. Her new book is on pre-sale called Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. If you've ever made a dumb decision with zeros on the end because you didn't do your research, well, that'd be all of us, right? We've all done this. Most people make choices, sadly, based on feelings or opinions, and sometimes they do this on something big like a house. Ugh. When it comes to the real estate market, feelings are not your friends. Facts are your friends. So check your facts. Find out what you can actually afford. Research what's trending in home prices. Talk to a reputable real estate agent in your area. Never buy a house without the facts. Go to RamseySolutions.com/agent. You can get one of our endorsed local providers, Ramsey Trusted, and they will take care of you. They're people that we've vetted to be the top real estate agents in your area. That's RamseySolutions.com/agent. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Means even if you mismeasure, you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your window blinds for free, even if you screwed it up. I like this guarantee. You get free samples, free shipping, new promos every month. Always use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Caleb in Ohio. I'm a skilled trades apprentice and currently make $30 an hour. I'm married to a beautiful wife and we have a 10-month-old baby. Ever since the COVID lockdown started, my wife has been left unemployed. She went to college and has a degree in psychology. I can work overtime at my job and could potentially bring in home an extra $1,000 to $1,500 a month. We are $180,000 in debt, including our mortgage. She loves staying home with the baby, but I think it would be highly beneficial for her to have a good paying job. Should she get a job?
Ooh.
Oh my God, I feel like my chest get tight.
Ooh, this sounds like a fight.
Yeah. Well, first, okay, I want to challenge one thing at the beginning of this. Since COVID lockdowns, she's been left unemployed. There are job opportunities. People are hurting for employees everywhere all the time. And she has the potential to do something on her own. So it's not that there's not an opportunity out there. I want to challenge that, first of all.
That's true.
The
deal is she hadn't been looking for an opportunity because she was staying home with the kids.
She's like, "Ooh, there's nothing out there, babe. Sorry, Caleb."
I checked. I worked on it for like a minute and a half today.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing out there. Shucks, I'm going to have to stay home with this adorable baby.
Darn. Yeah. Try it again.
Yeah. You know, what's interesting is, and this is like so many questions we get, Dave, is it's a values question more than a money question. Yes, there's a financial piece of it. If she got a job, you all would get out of debt faster. That's a financial mathematical equation. But then you look at the cost of childcare too. It would have to be something that makes more than what you're paying in childcare to make sense if you are paying for childcare, which is a major variable in there. But I think it's interesting too, because the idea of women staying home is something that is extremely, what's the word? Emotionally triggering, polarizing. People have a lot of opinions on. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they have two opinions in that house. Mm-hmm. He wants her to go to work. She doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So that's problem number one.
Yeah.
You guys need to get on the same page on that, because I got a feeling, Caleb, you completely stacked this whole question.
If she
with
had written in.
I mean, here's an example, Caleb, how badly you screwed up your intent here. We're $180,000 in debt, including our mortgage. So what, 179,000 of it's the mortgage?
Right.
We don't know. You completely stacked that. We're so deeply in debt is what you're trying to say, and that's a bunch of crap. I'm calling you on it,
We're
dude.
sinking, Dave. Send her to work. Tell her she needs to work.
She needs to go to the salt mines now. But all right, so here's the thing. I think the first thing you two need to agree on is if we can afford it and our family is going to be okay, are we on the same page that she stays home?
Yeah.
And you're not there.
Yeah, and that's so...
I'm reading in between the lines, Caleb wants her to go to work even if they were millionaires.
100%. And what's so important about that piece of it is that if you're not on the same page and you continue to function this way, you're going to resent her being home. And
she's getting tired of being treated like she's lazy.
Caleb, you're going to mistakenly think that she does nothing all day. And let me tell you right now, a baby is not a vacation. She does work. It's just at home. So that's the first piece of it. But if she does go to work to make him happy, she's going to resent that. Yep. So getting on the same page to avoid the resentment building up between you guys is going to be so important.
So at what number, at what point in your finances are you both going to be in agreement because right now there's not any number. I can read it in here. I don't believe there's a number. And you, Caleb, you need to determine at what point you are comfortable with her staying home. And if that's never, you need to look in the mirror. Okay, so that's an issue. Because your wife has said, I want to stay home with the kid. Mm-hmm. And this is your kid, your wife. So that's an issue. To just declare everyone who stays home with a kid lazy, regardless of the numbers, is pretty much asinine, Caleb. So, that's not an option. You can't put that on the table here. And so, now, if she wants to work, that's a whole different story.
Absolutely.
And if she wants to work no matter what the income is, that's a different story too. And so, in your case, you got 3 kids. Mm-hmm. You enjoy being a Ramsey personality and the work time, and it's a lot of hours sometimes. And Matt makes plenty of money. Yeah. You easily could stay home.
Yeah, yeah.
But you get fulfillment here and have chosen that.
Yeah.
And so that's a completely different equation too. And Rachel too.
Yeah.
My daughter, one of your best friends, the same thing. So, so anyway, now, at what point can she stay home? If you guys can pay your bills and you can eat and you can move ahead, and I'm thinking you can with what you make in Ohio, then if she wants to stay home mathematically, I think she probably can now. Or you could set some interim goals that says, okay, once we hit this break, then we're going to make that call. Once we finish off the non-mortgage debt.
Yeah.
Then we'll make that call, or something like that.
What's interesting too, that I'd be, and I'm sure if they went to counseling about this, I'm sure a counselor would actually dig into it. But I wonder what the hang up is for Caleb. It might be financial. It may not. There may be something where it's like there's a level of expectation that he sees in work ethic, or something that you need to dig into and unpack and deconstruct and get on the same page. That it's not just a number. Because to your point, there may not be a number. It may be something else in him that is a hang up. And so y'all getting on the same page there is going to be so important.
That's how it sounds in the email to me.
Well, and for, one more thing on that, that's one of the things I love helping women do with Business Boutique, because a lot of women in our Business Boutique audience and my coaching group that come to the event, they have that desire to stay home, but have a desire to do something else, and they don't want to work a traditional 9-to-5 in an office job, so they start a business from home during nap hours. So there's also other options between her just working 50 hours a week outside the home. So just thinking through that. And she might make
more than something else too.
Yes,
by the way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of the ladies in Business Boutique do.
Yes, lots of options.
Rich is with us. He's in Newark, New Jersey. Hi, Rich. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. I got a quick question, Dave. I'm 76 years old. I got $1.2 million sitting in 6 different savings accounts. My house is paid. Boats paid, cars paid. I owe no debt at all.
Good for you.
Should I move it? Huh?
Good for you. Well done, Rich.
Except that I don't know what to do with it.
What a great problem to have.
Oh, yeah, but it is good, but I don't know.
Well,
what do you think?
I personally, I'm not that far behind you. I'm 60. I personally would have that money invested, and here's why. Okay, if you were in good growth stock mutual funds and you made 10%, that'd be $120,000 a year. Right now, you're making $12,000 a year. You're making nothing.
Yes.
You're making nothing. Yeah.
Right.
And so if I'm half wrong, if the stock market does half of what it normally does, you're still going to make 5x of what you're making right now. Now, you don't have to move it all over there, and the main barrier to moving it over there is usually fear. And fear is dissipated by one of 2 things. One is you come to realize that the fear is accurate, which means you would not do it, or you come to understand the stock market better by sitting and meeting with someone to help you walk through that. Click SmartVestor at RamseySolutions.com, and you can sit down with somebody to help you with that and learn. Take your time, but learn, and let's start moving some of that money gradually into the market. Christy Wright, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Matt and Amber are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Welcome. Where do y'all live?
Houston, Texas.
Well, welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
How much debt have you guys paid off?
$92,610.
Excellent.
Awesome.
How long did that take?
8 years, 11 months, and 2 weeks.
8 years, 11 months. Wow. And your range of income during that time?
It ranged 60 to 150.
Wow. Okay. And what do you guys do for a living?
I'm in cybersecurity.
Mm-hmm.
And I occasionally worked at a church, but mostly a stay-at-home mom.
Good for you.
Awesome.
Cool. Very cool. Just what we were just talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. And what kind of debt was this $93,000?
It included our
mortgage.
mortgage.
Hey, you paid off your house. I'm looking at weird
right.
people.
Amazing,
What's this
y'all.
house worth?
About 170 now.
I love
Wow.
it. How old are you guys?
I just turned 40.
And I'm 37.
How you paid off your house?
Yes.
That's weird. Y'all are weird.
That is amazing.
I love it. Way to go. Very cool. Well, tell us the story. How did this happen? I mean, how did you find us? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, it started in 2008 when we got married, and a friend gave us a copy of the Total Money Makeover for a wedding gift. So we read that, and then we saw that our church offered FPU. So we took the class, and just after our first anniversary, we finished paying off our consumer debt.
Wow.
So we just kept working the baby steps. We saved our emergency fund, saved for a down payment for a house, and then we took out a 15-year mortgage right before our first child was born, and just kept plugging away until about 3.5 years ago when Matt was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, wow.
So we kind of had to slow things down a bit and take care of that.
Sure.
But we were thankful to be on the plan at that point, to not have to worry about the financial side of things when that was going on. But it also renewed in me a sense that, I wanted to finish our goal together of paying off the house. So we had been setting aside money to upgrade Matt's car, but when our car savings got close to the amount left on our mortgage, I thought, I can't spend this money on a car.
Sorry,
Let's
Matt.
just do it and pay off the mortgage.
No upgrade. The upgrade is a happy wife.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so true. Okay, so I'm curious, when y'all bought this house, y'all were on the plan and you bought this house. Were y'all intending to get intense about paying off this mortgage early, or was that something that kind of set in later?
I had always wanted to pay off the house early, probably earlier than he wanted to, but I was more intense than he was.
But it sounds like you worked the baby steps exactly as outlined.
Yeah,
we did.
And I mean, you worked right into the 15-year after you were debt free and had your emergency fund in place, and then you said, okay, we're going to take a 15, but we're going to pay it early, and then everything's cooking along, and then the little hiccup. So how are you doing, Matt? You the other side of the cancer?
I'm feeling good. I finished my last treatment about 3 months ago, so hopefully that never comes back.
Yeah.
Amen.
We're praying and hoping.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Good.
It's good to be here.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, you just surviving the cure is part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whew.
The other part was the medical bills.
Yeah.
And we found out what our out-of-pocket maximum would be, and we saved that each year.
Wow.
And then after that, we would decide, okay, we're going to put more towards the mortgage or save for this, save for that. And it was very peaceful, financially speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's so interesting that you use the word peaceful when you're talking about going through cancer and having to deal with that, because I know so many people that's the opposite they would ever think. But when you have your finances in order, like you guys did, then it takes that piece of it off of it, and where you're just focused on healing and getting the treatment you need. And so, well done, you guys. That's amazing. I'm so glad you guys had that foundation before this came.
Definitely.
Way to go. Way to go. How's it feel to be completely free now? I mean, the cancer treatments are over and the house is paid off. My
No
gosh,
bills.
it's like it's like spring is here after the winter.
Yeah, it feels great. It still feels a little surreal, but yeah, it feels wonderful.
So when's Matt get his upgrade?
Yeah. Matt's like, great
That's
question.
probably next
thing
on the list for us to do. Just
But you know
finally
what?
get him that.
No payments. That's going to happen quick. No payments. You can save for those goals so much faster.
Yeah.
That's amazing, you guys.
Well, congratulations, you guys. Very well done.
Thank you.
All right, so you've read the Total Money Makeover. You went through Financial Peace University at your church. You pay off your house and everything, 40 years old and younger. What's the secret to getting out of debt?
I think the first step was the budget and getting on the same page. We met every month and we looked at the budget and we're like, okay, where is this money going to go? And that diligence, that tenacity of we're going to meet even if we don't want to. And sometimes we were late in the middle of the month instead of the beginning of the month, but just being on the same page, that was so powerful, I think. And agreeing and making compromises when we disagreed, I think that was very important.
What kept you motivated for the long haul? Because this was a long journey for you guys from the time you paid off your last consumer debt to now. The house is that's a big thing to pay off. What kept you motivated through the journey?
Just being able to do this together and have that weight off our shoulders, especially after the diagnosis, just thinking, okay, I don't want to have to deal with anything else I don't have to. So let's just go ahead and get that done and focus on the other things and have fun and enjoy life together.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, way to go, guys. You guys are heroes. You completely changed your life, changed your family tree, changed everything, and pushed through, man. Well done. Well done.
Thank
Very
you.
well done. So proud of you. Well, we've got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you. That is the next chapter in your story for sure. To become baby steps millionaires, you're right around the corner from that, and then move on to change your whole family tree. Also, an extra copy of the Total Money Makeover to give away. That's what started your journey. You can help somebody start theirs with it. That'll be perfect. And you brought the kiddos with you. What are their names and ages?
We have Hope, Ryan, and Luke, and they are 9, 7, and 5.
All right. And have they been practicing a debt-free scream?
Oh, yes, we have.
And know what it is, right? They're ready to go.
Absolutely.
All geared up. You guys look like you're ready to yell. Yeah, we drove all the way from Houston. We're ready to yell.
That's right.
All right, here we go. I love it. Matt, Amber, Hope, Ryan, and Luke from Houston, Texas. $93,000 paid off. That's the house and everything. They're weird. 8 years, 11 months did it. Making 60 to 150. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah! Woohoo!
Oh, I love seeing the kids. Oh,
I
my gosh.
love it.
That's amazing.
Fabulously done. Very well done. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Those guys are amazing. What great heroes. Teresa is in Dayton, Ohio. Hi, Teresa. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, Dave?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Well, I was calling. I'm trying to decide. So, my mom's been very sick for the past year, and there's a lot of care and stuff that I kind of manage with her. And I've been on the journey since right before COVID, and debt free other than the house and stuff. But I've been looking at. I mean, you've really motivated me in just trying to find a path with God, and trying to help other people out too. And I want to do the financial coaching, but I just don't know if this is the time. Just because of the overwhelmingness with my mom and stuff.
Yeah. Might not be.
So
it might be that you spend your time best with mom right now. It sounds to me like. I'm just listening to your voice.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that.
No, there's not.
And here's a good way to think through it. You know all the details. When you are 25 years older than you are today, and you look back on this season, which thing are you going to be glad you did?
Teresa, I just talked about this on Instagram today. I just want to encourage you. This is your season of taking care of your mom. This is where you are. This is not who you are. Just because you're not pursuing that right now doesn't mean you're never going to. Your season is where you are, not who you are. You do what's right now, and you'll know what to do next.
And when you look back, you smile and go, I did the right thing at the right time.
That's right.
Whatever that is. This is The Ramsey Show. Right, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. We launched her new book, and it is in pre-sale, is selling like crazy, called Take Back Your Time, the Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. All about this elusive thing that everybody talks about, being balanced, which really is a misnomer, but Christy addresses all that beautifully, and it kind of sets you free to where you can live your life well and with a level of intentionality, and you're going to love this material. It's incredible. Aaron is with us in Orlando. Hi, Aaron. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dave. How are you doing today?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
I wanted to call, Dave, because my wife and I would like to ask a question about upgrading our housing situation. We're currently on baby step 6 right now, and we've maxed out our 401k Roth contributions, as well as an additional $6,000 for her Roth IRA. And during a time of pandemic, when we've seen so many people struggling, we've been so fortunate where our careers have really, really blossomed. And a big dream of my wife has always been to move to a certain area in Orlando, as well as myself, and upgrade our housing. And right now, we have the ability to save, on average, about an additional $50,000 to $75,000 a year that we'd like to put towards making this purchase. We want to be patient about this purchase because there's not a lot of houses that come up for sale in this area regularly, and when they do, they go very, very quickly, and we're just not in that position quite yet. So my question for you is, would you take this additional $50,000 to $75,000 that we're making additionally on an annual basis and just pay down our current mortgage? Or would you take that and put that maybe in a growth mutual stock or mutual funds arena to let it grow, and then use that towards paying towards the down payment of the house when we find the right deal at the right time?
Oh, you're going to sell your house, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So you're going to get your money out of it anyway.
Correct. We currently owe about $230,000 on our home right now, and it's worth over $400,000. So we have a good.
Let's just say let's just say your careers continued to blossom and you paid it off.
Yes, sir.
And then you found the house in the dream neighborhood. You just put that one on the market and sell it, and use that for the down payment, right?
Correct. My wife, she's the one that's getting more analytical about it, and she's wondering if we're better off using it and seeing maybe that 8% growth on it, as opposed to just we're paying right now 2.625% on our mortgage rate, and she thought maybe it'd be better off, investing it there and seeing growth there rather than paying down the mortgage itself.
Yeah, that's when you didn't do math. Because here's the problem, okay? The way you get into that new neighborhood has got 95% to do with you saving $50,000 to $100,000 a year. It has 1% to do with what the rate of return on your savings is. The math that gets you into that neighborhood is not rate of return. It's your savings rate based on your income.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to use that argument that she's using, we would never pay off the mortgage.
Correct. Yes. My contention is I'd like to pay off the mortgage because I would like to be able to do my debt-free screen no matter what.
Well, yeah, and either way, you get to your goal. But the idea that somehow making a little bit more on your money is going to get you to the goal faster, no, you're adding risk to the equation, and I wouldn't do that.
I agree.
I would continue to work your plan. And the other thing I think I heard is that you're putting more than 15% of your income into retirement.
Correct, sir.
Yeah, because I would hold up at baby step 4 at 15% going into retirement, and I would throw everything else at the mortgage. That's the baby steps.
The additional amount is more towards looking towards the kids for their education for college.
No, I'm said 15% towards retirement.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
You said you maxed out everything. Are your incomes so high that maxing out everything is 15% of your income?
I believe the maximum amount we're allowed to deposit right now is it $18,750 or something like that.
This year's 19.5, yeah.
Yeah, so we've maxed that out completely, and then we started.
Is that more than 15% of your income?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, that's not what we teach.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It is more. I'm sorry.
And so you're putting in 22 to 25% of your income instead of 15% of your income. I would back that down, throw everything at your house. Let's get your house paid for, pile up cash once the house is paid for. Beyond that, you guys. That's what we teach. Again, you can do your plan if you want to do your plan, but 15% is the most of your household income. Take your household income times 0.15 is the most I'd be putting into those 401ks and Roth IRAs. Anything beyond that, kids' college, anything beyond that, we're paying down the house, going to get it paid for, and then you'll be ready, Christy, to move into that other house.
Well, and the other thing that that I love that you pointed out, Dave, is it's not just about the money as it is. We're talking about like where you put the money, the risk. And so, Aaron, you want to get in this special neighborhood that's hard to get into. You're going to be in a really good position if you have hardly any mortgage or a paid off house and then some saved up cash when you make an offer on a home in any kind of market versus worrying about what the mutual funds are doing or whatever. You're just going to have so much more control to make a good offer and have a good position for that house you want. And that's what we're trying to help you do. We're trying to help you get in a good position financially, but also from a control standpoint and options.
Yeah. So you guys are, again, you can work your plan, your wife's plan if you want to. That's allowed. Well, there's nothing against the law. But we are firmly convinced after 30 years of doing this that if you will follow those baby steps exactly, you're going to find yourself in wealth faster than any other methodology. And we've actually got millions and millions of people that have done it that are the data points that indicate that. It's not a college professor with a theory. Been doing this a long time with tens of millions of people.
We were just saying as we walked out in the break to congratulate those people debt free on their house. We're seeing a lot more people paying off their homes, and it's a result of those tens.
It's the number of years.
Yeah, the 30 years of doing this.
When I hadn't been on the air 8 years, I couldn't have somebody come in here and go, 8 years ago I started listening to you, but now that I've been on the air 30 years, there's a whole bunch of them that are out there that they're further along, and we're also seeing the other piece of it, which is the financial piece babies. My parents listened to you when I was a kid. Oh, shut up. But
dang it.
Yeah, it's the make Dave feel old statement. But you don't have to make me feel old. I'm well aware of my age. But the thing is, this stuff works. It's always worked. It still works. Ramsey's people are out of touch. No, we're not. We're in touch with the truth. We know exactly how wealth is built in today's world, the fastest possible way. And there's a lot of stuff we don't know anything about around here, but that's not one of them. We are the expert on that in the whole freaking nation. So, and it's not my age does not disqualify that. As a matter of fact, it qualifies it. So, well, you don't understand modern. Yes, I do, you goob. I understand modern everything. I can even work my own phone. Go figure. But this idea that somehow that the principles of wealth building have somehow shifted dramatically in the past 10 years and Ramsey's a boomer and doesn't get it, it's just asinine.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. So the principles have always been the same. They will always be the same. And now the vehicles you use might shift. Some of those things might change, but you can't use that to make an excuse to get rich quick garbage.
Well, and you always make a good point too. Don't take financial advice from broke people, and half the time the people that are telling you should be doing this, you have to build a credit score, you have to take out debt, you have to have a mortgage, you should put your money in this, whatever. There are people that are deeply in debt. There are people that are not winning financially. These are not the kind of people you want to listen to.
Yeah, if the financial blogger you're reading lives in his mother's basement, there's a problem here.
We need a track record. We need proof.
There's a little bit of something going on here. I got socks older than him. So, but that's the trick. You just got to think this through, and there isn't a thing called experience and proof texting in that experience. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, my co-host today. James Childs is our producer. Kelly Daniels, our associate producer and phone screener. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it, here on The Ramsey Show.
It's Kelly, associate producer for The Ramsey Show. This episode is over, but if you heard about an event, product, or service and didn't have a chance to write it down, don't worry. We list everything you've heard about during this episode in the podcast show notes section or head to theramseyshow.com. Thanks for listening.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. My co-host today, Christy Wright, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, launching her second best-selling book in pre-sale. That's a prediction. A couple of weeks ago, it's called Take Back Your Time, the Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. So if you want to talk about life balance, money, that's what we're here for. It's a free call. Some say the advice is worth exactly what you pay for it. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Forrest is with us in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hey, Forrest, how are you?
Hi, Dave and Christy. It's an honor to talk to you guys.
You too. What's up?
So I'm 25, and I just started my first job after college. I have no student loans, no credit card debt. I have $3,000 in the bank and $3,000 in single stock. And I'm looking to propose to my significant other, and I'm looking into moving and living with her. And so my question was, what would you recommend when planning to purchase an engagement ring, starting to save for a wedding, and that would be 2 years from now? And what would be your recommendation for investment? Because I really haven't done any at the moment.
Okay, cool. What do you make?
About $60,000 a year.
What's your potential fiance make?
She'll be a high school teacher, so anywhere between 30 and 40 to start out with.
Okay, so like 100. Household income when you're married, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's a couple of rules of thumb. Engagements and weddings are really important. No kidding, Dave. So, and they can both get emotional, and people get stupid around what they spend on both things. So here's a couple of guidelines for you to think about. Since you're going to be saving up for the wedding, the cheaper the wedding, the sooner the date. That make sense?
That makes sense to me.
Because I heard you say 2 years because it was going to take that long to save the money when it doesn't take that long to run down to the Justice of the Peace by Saturday.
This is true. But
I wasn't going to suggest that. I'm just saying that there's a ratio here, that the cheaper the wedding, the faster it occurs, okay?
That makes sense.
So if you were my kid, I would say don't wait 2 years. So that you don't move in together before marriage. Don't shack up ahead of time. And let's plan an inexpensive wedding, but a nice wedding, and let's get married in 5 or 6 months. If you were my kid, that's what I would tell you. Okay? Now, then onto the engagement ring. A good rule of thumb, the jewelry stores tell you 3 months of your income, and that's because they sell jewelry. So a good rule of thumb is 1 month of income, maximum. So Sweetie's getting a $4,000, $3,000 ring max, because that's your take-home pay. Which, by the way, gets you real dadgum married. Sharon's was $1,164, and 39 years later, it's still working good. Okay? You with me?
I think we lost him. I think you've scared him away.
Are you gone? Did I blow you out of the saddle?
He's like, you killed all my dreams. I'm out of here.
Okay, what were you thinking of spending on the ring?
I was thinking somewhere between 3 and 5.
Oh, okay. We're on the same. We're in the same ballpark. You weren't going to go crazy, because there is no correlation between the size of the diamond and the success of the marriage. As a matter of fact, there might be an inverse correlation at some point. Okay? meaning that if a large rock is required the size of a headlight, this is probably not the girl of your dreams, but it's the girl of your nightmares. But anyway, if that's a requirement, so I think you're on track there. And so, dude, I mean, listen, like we're talking 10 grand here gets this whole puppy done, and then you move on with other stuff. But in the meantime, these things are top of the line. What do you think, Christy?
Yeah, I think the only other thing I would question is for us figure out what your monthly expenses are, and just make sure that you keep some savings for your emergency fund. When you're I don't want you to drain your $3,000 in a savings account for the ring and not have any savings.
Well,
this is on top of your savings.
Yeah, you need to cash out this stock and stuff. So you got $6 grand to work with. You need about 10, and so you could be married by Christmas with a $10,000 wedding and a $3,000 ring. If budget's what's holding up the calendar, I don't know if it is, but that's what I thought I heard. Did I hear that?
You said 2 years very definitively. Where'd that 2 years come from? And don't let him put words in your mouth. If it's not money, tell us. You just be honest for us. What are we working with here? Why 2 years?
So, me personally, I want to be able to actually live with her a little bit before I actually marry her and spend the rest of my life with her.
Yeah, this is a woman. It's not shoes. You don't have to try them on and see if they fit.
All right.
You do what you want to do, but the actual statistical correlation between people that shack up before getting married versus those that don't, there is very detailed research on that, and it increases the success ratio in your marriage staying together to not do that. And so there's data on this. Okay,
it just does.
Tons of pieces of research on this, and yet there are more people live together in America today without marriage than marriage.
Well, and when you move in together, it can often be really hard. Matt and I moved in together when we got married, and it was hard. So if you're using that as your litmus test to determine if you want to marry her, I don't know that it's a good idea. You may change your minds, and she could be the one, but it was a hard first 6 months because why do you fold the towels that way? I mean, you have some interesting...
What's wrong with you with the toothpaste?
No, you don't load the dishwasher that way. I mean, that first
backward.
year...
Squeeze or roll. I'm just saying, it's just bad. Yeah, but we've been married 39 years. Sharon says we had 25 good years of marriage. So I'm just saying, that's part of the equation. So you do what you want to do, brother. We're here to help you and love you and tell you the truth and tell you what we believe. And this advice comes from a point of caring, and it comes from data and research, and it comes so the average wedding in America today is $28,000. For those of you listening, the average household income is right about $60,000. So people are spending about 50% of their household income on average on their wedding. That's the average. Now that's a lot. That's a lot. It's not to say a $28,000 wedding is evil, but if you spend over half your annual income, you'd be over average, and that's a double lot. So we've got lots of our team members, 20-somethings all through this building, get married for 10 grand and had some really nice little weddings. We've had some people spend a lot more than that, including some Ramsey girls, but we had the money, so there's that.
Feels like a really big deal before it's here, and then afterwards, it doesn't feel like it's big of a deal. When you're married, you got new priorities.
We're cleaning out the closets right now. The organizer lady's there, and we're finding all this stuff from 30 years ago, and we're going 20 years ago, 10 years ago, the kids' weddings, our weddings. Wow. Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Does it feel like no matter what you do or how hard you work, you can't get ahead? You feel like a rat trapped in a wheel? Run, get nowhere. I remember that feeling. It's exhausting, stressful. Sometimes it's even terrifying. But you know what? You don't have to live like that. If you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you can decide. You can say, I've had it. I'm not going to live like this anymore. Then you're ready to commit to a new plan. Financial Peace University is the step-by-step plan that's helped millions and millions and millions of people not only pay off debt, not only learn to work together if they're married, not only take control, but also become wealthy. And you combine that with a premium version of the Every Dollar budgeting tool, the world's best budgeting app, and you will make progress right away. And it's only available through a membership of Ramsey Plus. Decide today to break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. This month only, we're taking $30 off the price of the 12-month membership, and you can start a free trial of Ramsey Plus today by texting TRIAL to 33789. This is unbelievably inexpensive now. Text TRIAL to 33789. Jim is in Findlay, Ohio. Hi, Jim. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How are you today?
Hey, what's up?
Well, I have a little conundrum. So back in November, I was laid off from my job of many years due to COVID, and I was able to find another job, which I started in mid-January, and unfortunately was in a different state. So I had kids in high school. I wasn't going to move them during the school year. I moved down. Family.
You're cutting out. Last thing we heard was you moved down, and then your phone cut out. Try again.
I'm sorry about that. So, yeah, I moved down, and the rest of the family was going to join me after the school year started.
Mm-hmm.
Soon after that, my wife came down. We looked for a house because we were going to be moving, and we put a contract on the house to be built. And put down $60,000 on that, and we're debt-free except for our house, so we had some money saved and everything else, so everything was good. Fast forward a few more months, and the job did not work out. The principal there decided that we weren't working well together, and so now I had no job and moved back to Ohio. And am currently stuck with a house that I have a contract for that I can't get out of. And we're not selling the house that we were going to be selling in order to carry this. And we're unsure what to do at this point because standard mortgage providers, are expecting you to hold on to a house for over a year. They wanted to be a principal residence. The rest of that, all that is no longer.
That won't affect anything. That's just that means you're not going to turn it into a rental. Is all. You promised to be owner occupied, but you're just going to sell it if you have to close it. Is the contract not contingent upon financing?
Well, the contract was contingent upon being able to show that you could get financing, and I was able to show that because we were making all that. Since then, my mortgage provider said, under these circumstances, we're not interested in financing you. So we have to find a new way of financing this.
Yeah, have you talked to the builder?
Yeah, we've tried. We tried to get them to take it back. They're actually selling the same house for $40,000 more than they paid us on a new one that they're building now.
Well, then why wouldn't they want it back? Why wouldn't they want it back?
I don't know. I've actually had a lawyer work with them to try to get them to budge, and they're just not budging.
Okay. Has your attorney analyzed your contingency that was removed due to you having financing approved that is now no longer approved? It seems to me that should be an out in the contract.
That might be. And he has looked at it, and we basically had that contingency when we signed the contract. He's unsure if that can pull us out, and the question is, do we lose the $60,000 for part of it? If
the other thing you can do is this. When I used to do flips 1,000 years ago, I would often sell a house that I had under contract before I closed on it, and then have a double closing that lasted about 5 minutes. So why don't you get a good realtor and put the house on the market now, and put it on the market. Put it on the market for what you paid for it, which is $40,000 cheaper than the builder. So you'll undercut the builder who was too stupid to take it back. If I'm the builder, I want this house back.
I agree. I don't understand that myself. The only problem with that solution is that technically they still own the MLS because we're owners in contract. We are not owners.
Oh, I don't care. You can create a whole new MLS. A real estate agent can list anything. And they can just list it and say, hey, this house is up for sale. And it's under it's construction date to be completed X, and by the way, it's $40,000 cheaper than the builder selling the exact same model for. I think you'll get a buyer in this hot market and get somebody to buy it and close it 1.5 seconds after you do, and that funds it.
All right. So I'll look into an ELP realtor then in the other states.
Yeah, I think that's what you need to do. And your attorney needs to get his crap together and start looking at that contingency clause too, because I think you're out. But I could be wrong.
That's smart. That's a good idea.
Yeah, but a flip like that, put it on $10,000 more than you paid for it. Make a little money for all this trouble. Still $30,000 less than a builder selling it for.
Yeah.
And and let them pick out the final colors and stuff. Let them pick it out, and they can still customize it at this stage. Well, we don't know when it's completed; it didn't have a completion date, but and in this hot market, you probably could do that.
Yeah,
you might actually make some money on this. That would be weird, but wow. Well, it's that's why you have contingencies in contracts if you can. I buy a lot of stuff cash, no contingencies, but I want a deal when I'm doing that. You weren't getting a deal on this. You paid retail. So, you need more wiggle room than that in a retail deal. But, there you go. It's interesting. Very interesting situation. Jonathan's in New York City. Hey, Jonathan, what's up in your world?
Hey, Dave and Chrissy. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Sure.
So I recently accepted a new job. Just to give a little background, I'm an accountant, and the offer letter stated that I can't perform any business activities outside of my employment. However, in the capitalistic spirit, I kind of want to have a side hustle or be able to earn some income outside of my W-2, and I was wondering what my options are.
What's the why behind that? What's the why behind the non-compete?
I'm not sure. Here's another caveat. I think, personally, it would kind of be a bad look to ask about this, especially because I'm just starting new employment. I think from their perspective, what they're thinking is that they want me to give my full energy and attention to the job. They don't want any jobs that are going to compete with their time as well as compete for my energy if I'm spending my weekends working and it's affecting my work performance. So I think that's probably why they put that clause in the offer letter.
When do you start?
I start next Monday.
You should have thought all this before you accepted this offer, son. I think you've done a deal. I think you go over and you go to work and you don't work side jobs, because that's what you gave them, was your word on that. I agree with you. It's pretty constrictive, but that's what you signed up for. So you either don't take the job or you take the job with the terms that you took it on.
And then you could ask maybe in 6 months if you want to, once you've built a reputation there, if you want to ask about it.
Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Jonathan and Jamie are on the line in Idaho Falls, and it says on my screen you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Woohoo, thank you.
Thank you.
Love it, love it. How much have you paid off?
$120,000 in 5 years.
Excellent. And your range of income during that time?
Started out around 60, and then we're up to around 100.
Excellent.
Awesome.
What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a licensed architect.
Mm-hmm.
And I teach for a university online.
Okay. So what kind of debt was this $120,000?
It's our house.
Woo! Another paid-for house. I love
telling
it.
you, this is so cool.
You guys, how old are you guys?
37.
I'm 35.
Couple of weirdos. Couple of weirdos.
Yes.
What's this
That's
house?
my favorite thing to be.
It's the only place you can call somebody call you weird and you're glad.
You're like, thank you for that compliment.
Thank you.
So, what's the house worth?
It's last time we checked around 300 now.
Yeah, I love it. I love
We're
it.
pretty lucky.
What in the world happened to you guys that caused you to do all this?
You start.
Well, I would say we've always been raised up pretty budget conscious and things, but really it was just someone sharing us your plan, and we're just like, hey, I think in order for us to meet our goals and kind of the vision we wanted for our lives, we had to get this out of the way.
Yeah, we both went to undergrad and grad school mostly debt-free before we kind of had to plan. We ended up taking out student loans for one semester, which we were pretty proud of, and we ended up kind of doing the snowball effect without really knowing we were doing the snowball effect because it was such a tiny chunk.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up buying our first house, and we had some amazing friends, Emma and Michelle, who they were talking to Jonathan about his commute. They had a similar commute, and she's like, oh, you need to tune in to the show. And he kind of loved it and ran with it and kind of got me convinced, too. So,
And so before we know it, we're coloring squares on a house on the refrigerator.
Yeah, well, having kids who love, coloring on anything, this was they loved coloring in the squares, almost more than we did.
That is cool.
So is that we're seeing the picture of the house with the colors on YouTube. Is that 120 squares?
It's actually, we started that one at 100 because we ended up selling our first house, and we kind of buckled down. That was right about our 5-year mark where we're like, okay, we're around 100, let's just buckle in, and so yeah.
105 years, boom, just like that. Yeah.
Knock it out.
Yeah.
Way to go.
We ended up doing we bid about the last 60,000 in the last year because we were looking at there was a triplex that came up, and we're like, wow, that looks like a really cool investment opportunity. My husband's an architect, so he's all we just like property, and we kept looking at it, but then there's this, well, dare I say it, your voice in the back of our head that's like, should you go into debt for this cool investment property, or should we just knock the mortgage out so we can actually have freedom?
And pay cash for an investment property later. Yeah. Good.
Exactly, yes.
Good, yeah.
Yes.
So, guys, this is so cool. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is, heroes?
So I would say, dream big together and then set the goals, and then just buckle down and grind it out. That's the key from my perspective, because we had to be working together, and in order to last on the grind of it, the daily grind, you'd need to have that vision, that goal out there of something you're going towards, and working together is key.
Well, you make a good point, because a lot of times people call and they ask, some way to fast track it. It can feel like a grind, especially when you're doing the house. What kept you guys motivated for 5 years of this, of sticking with it?
Yeah.
I think listening to other people's stories was huge, knowing that it was a possibility.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, the weird thing comes back, everyone, you're just going to be in debt for, the 30-year mortgage. And just hearing other people's stories and really going, okay, we could actually get out there and, and also be examples to other people who don't think it's possible.
Yeah, that motivation for us, just keeping that, just staying tapped into listening and just working the plan, because that kept us going. Our rice and beans dinners with the family, and just listening to the debt-free screams and working towards it. That just kept us going.
That's cool.
And now you're 37 years old and you don't have a payment in the stinking world. You own your house 100%. You rock. You rock.
Oh, thank you.
How does this feel?
Oh, man, it's surreal. It feels so good. And it still hasn't entirely sunk in, but it is just, it feels really awesome.
It's lighter. Just a lot lighter.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true, because debt's heavy.
Yeah, so heavy.
And when you set it down, it feels lighter. That's exactly right.
That's so true. And even just the idea of like the word free, debt free, but like there's a freedom even in your spirit. There's a freedom and a lightness to your life when you don't have that over your head. Well done, you guys. That's amazing.
Thank you. And it's crazy, like just keeping going. I know there's probably some pictures that pulled up. In the last month, our 2-year-old broke her leg. Our truck got smacked in front of our house and totaled, and since we were able to kind of just keep going with what we knew we needed to do, we were still able to deal with the crazy and meet our goals.
Yeah. We see the barefoot over the grass with one in a cast. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I love it. Yeah. Walk through your backyard with no shoes on. It feels different when you own it. That's our
amazing.
yeah. So you guys did that. Well done. Well done. Well done. We got a copy of the Legacy Journey for you. That's the next chapter in your story for sure. You are going to and have changed your family tree, changed your legacy. Way to go, you guys. And a copy of the Total Money Makeover to give away. Some of these people that are watching over your shoulder, watching what you're doing, are intrigued. Maybe you can prompt one of them into the game and change their life. So,
for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well done, you guys. We're very, very proud of you here at Ramsey. Jonathan and Jamie. What are the 3 kids' names and ages?
Olive is 8, Dash is 6, and Velda is 2.
All right. And a cast. I like it. Very good. All right. Jonathan, Jamie, Olive, Dash, and Velda. $120,000 paid off in 5 years. They're debt-free at 37. House and everything. These are weird people in Idaho Falls making 60 to 100. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Yeah! This is how it is done.
This is fun. Never gets old.
Now, here's what people don't understand, because they haven't had the pleasure of sitting in this seat for 30 years. They're 37. In the next 20 years, by the time they're 57, not only do they have the ability, mathematically, to now invest the equivalent of a house payment, which is tens of millions of dollars over 20 to 30 years. But here's what happens. His career path will be different because now he can make choices.
Right.
And has margin, and he can work where he wants to work, when he wants to work, and he will make more money because of that, because he's not forced to stay in a place because Friday's coming and I got bills.
Yeah.
When you're trapped, you don't become as prosperous as you do when you're free.
Yeah.
And see, that's what you leave out, some of you, when you're looking at this equation and you're saying, oh, I can invest the money in mutual funds and I won't pay off my mortgage, and paying off your mortgage is really stupid. No, you're really stupid when you say that, because you don't understand what freedom does to every aspect of your life. Your marriage, your health,
your relationships.
Your medical bills will be lower when you don't have this in your life. They just set down a weight. When you don't have to carry that weight, it changes you. Ramsey Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today, working on her second #1 bestseller. It's on pre-sale right now, called Take Back Your Time, the Guilt-Free Guide to Balanced Living. It is how to properly address this whole subject of balance. It's on sale now at Ramsey Solutions at $20, and it includes $150 worth of other items as well. So be sure and check all of that out. You don't want to miss it out. Take back your time. And here's the thing. We're also going to be doing a live event. Are we pushing? No, wait a minute.
Well, we are actually doing
we have a quiz. That's what it is.
We do have a quiz, and this quiz is going to help you uncover the root of why you feel out of balance in the first place. It's called Why Am I So Busy? Why do I feel so busy? You can text BUSY, B-U-S-Y, to 33789.
It's free.
And find out what's the root cause of why you feel out of balance, and that's going to help you know what to do about it. But Dave, we are actually doing an event on September 16th, and you get a ticket to that event when you buy your copy of the book in pre-sale. So if you wait till it launches, then you don't get that good stuff.
That's
the
one
audiobook,
of the bonus items.
Yeah, ebook, audiobook, all that. But September 16th, 2 days after book launch, you get a ticket to that event if you buy it in pre-sale. So go ahead and get your copy because we do have that event coming up.
Now I remember because I'm on that event.
You sure are. I hope you'll be there.
Just reminded me what's on my calendar.
Can't wait to see
my
ya.
September is something almost every day. It's going to be a wild month. And that's just one of the wild elements of that month. So yeah, September 16th. And if you want to take the free quiz, text BUSY to 33789. Alana is with us in Helena, Montana. Hi, Alana. How are you? Hi. What's up?
Oh, okay. My husband, his employer, the company went public, and so we've been trying to figure out what to do with the RSUs, the stock he's been paid over the last 5.5 years, and also he has the opportunity to purchase stock options. So we're just thinking a lot about like what's the best way to do that. Obviously, having a bunch of single stock is not something we're comfortable with, but also we have different no trading periods as well. But what kind of advice, I guess, do you have for us on how long to hold it and what we should maybe do with that?
Well, so you've got restricted stock units, and what are the restrictions on it?
Sorry, I wasn't expecting that question. So we can't trade right now. The period will be open here in 2 weeks or so, and then each quarter it seems like there'll be a period of time after numbers or for the company are known or whatever.
Okay, so it's not like a 1 year waiting period, or if it was, you've already passed that.
Yeah, the period that the initial public period, we will be past here in about a week and a half.
Okay.
And then the other periods will just be between quarters as we're waiting for whatever they like to do with that, I guess.
Well, they don't want a bunch of employees dumping stocks on a newly public company right before they announce earnings and cause a dip in the stock because people get scared. They go, the employees are all dumping it. And so they typically do restrict your units on an initial public offering for a year. That's not unusual. And up until numbers are released each quarter. So once the numbers are released, then you selling the stock won't affect stock price. And that's why they do that. So it's not an unreasonable thing. So what's all of this worth that you currently own?
So we currently have about $35,000 worth that has been held for over a year.
Okay. And what is your household income?
$35,000 for less than a year.
What's your household income?
Between $100,000 and $120,000, depending on bonuses.
How much debt do you have, not counting your house?
None.
Good. How much do you owe on your house?
$229,000.
Okay, and you're putting 15% of your income away in retirement in baby step 4 or not?
Yes, we were definitely on baby step 4, and then we did borrow into our emergency account, so we do have a little bit to pay back into our emergency account, but not enough that we've taken and stopped the 15%.
So you had an emergency.
We'll have that paid back soon. Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. And you're getting past that. Good. All right. So if you're working our baby steps, then 4, 5, and 6 are simultaneous. 4 is 15% of your income into retirement. 5 is kids' college. 6 is pay off the house early. And so I'm using everything I can get my hands on to pay off the house early. And so as those stock units become available, I'm cashing them out and putting them on the house as fast as I possibly can. As far as buying stock options in the company, that's typically 15% off of retail, right?
The numbers my husband gave me were that it would cost us about $27,000 to buy the options, and they would be worth $140,000. So I guess pretty close to what you're saying.
No, that's a lot more than what I'm saying. That's a lot better deal than what I'm saying. 15% of a reduction in price, and that
15. Okay, got it.
Sounds like this sounds like you're buying it at 10 or 15 cents on the dollar. So he's got some legitimate options there as well. Here's the thing: you can roll those options without investing any cash. You can just sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that sounds like that's going to make you net. What'd you say? 130 over 27? Make you another $100,000.
140 over 27. Yeah.
Okay. It's going to make you another $113,000 on top of the 35 that you got. We're about to get your house paid off, kiddo.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, sell it all.
Crazy.
Sell it all.
Okay. Yeah. And so, do we want to try to hold on to it for a year? Is it
nope.
Sell it as soon as? Okay.
I have no idea what the price is going to do. I will trade the opportunity for this business that your husband's in. I have no idea what it is, to make a lot more money in order to be free. You got plenty of time to play games with stuff like options and single stock ownership later after you're free completely. And so you make $130,000 a year, but you're sitting on $140,000 worth of stock. And so you've got the equivalent of 1 year's income that you're screwing around with here in single stock. Now, you may do all of this stuff and look back and that stock double in value, and you go, that Dave Ramsey lost his dadgum mind. No, I want your house paid off.
Okay.
But you can do what you want to do. That's how we work the baby steps, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting too, because I think that when you ask the question out loud and you start to do the math, it becomes so much more clear, because having that money that is sitting there, you could be putting that towards the house, the $35,000. And I've never heard you talk about, I guess not as much about the company stocks, but I think that's a good question, because anybody that's in a company that has that option needs to know what to do with it and what to put it towards.
Yeah, most publicly traded company stock options are standard employee stock purchase. They're very standardized, just 15% off.
Gotcha.
Which is not enough to mess with it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the 52-week high and the 52-week low, they go up and down more than 15%.
Are all company stocks single stocks?
Yes.
Typically, okay.
Yeah, it's the only thing there is. It's a stock in a single company.
Yep. Is
what it is. So, and this is a initial public offering, an IPO, which means it's got tremendous upside. It could be a real go-go, but it's got tremendous downside too.
Right.
It's the most volatile of all categories. Brand new companies, brand new publicly traded companies. But it's like fishing stories. You only hear about the ones that you got into the boat. You don't hear about the days that you sat out there in the sun and got nothing but a sunburn.
Yes.
And you caught nothing, you know. And so the guys that do an IPO and it goes completely belly up and they make almost nothing on it, or they lose half of their money, then you don't hear those stories when you're with your golfing buddy. You don't brag about those, your fishing buddy, right? So, but all of that to say, I'm not taking all the risk. When you make $130,000 a year and you have $140,000 sitting in your plate, you go pay off your house or move towards paying off your house. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Thanks to Christy Wright, my co-host, James Childs, our producer, Kelly Daniels, our associate producer and phone screener. I'm Dave Ramsey. We'll be back.
Did you know you can listen to The Ramsey Show on your smart speaker? Just tell Alexa, Google Assistant, or Siri to play The Ramsey Show podcast. Check out all Ramsey Network shows on your smart speaker today.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Christy Wright, #1 best-selling author, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Her new book is on pre-sale. It will come out September the 14th, but if you want to get $50 worth of extra goodies to go with it, all for $20, you can pre-order it at RamseySolutions.com. It's called Take Back Your Time, the Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. Janice is with us in Oklahoma City to start this hour off. Hi, Janice. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing okay. I'm really very concerned about my finances. I'm 70 years old. I have no retirement. My husband and I, neither one have a retirement. We are not in agreement about what we should do with the cash that we do have. We have $25,000 cash, no CDs, nothing. That's it. The question is, we owe $27,000 on our home, and the value of the home is about $250,000. We have $11,000 debt on a car. My husband wants to take the money that we have and pay off the car, and then he says apply the $350 a month car payment towards paying off the house. My problem is I'm so stressed. I at least want to have a house to live in, and the way I see things, I don't think I can live anywhere cheaper than where I live right now. I don't think I could even live in an apartment for what we would be paying a month on our home. So I need some help here.
What are you living on? What's your income?
We have $2,000 a month Social Security combined. I have some income that I get above that with a job that I have that is pretty physically challenging. I'm able to do it now, but, I don't know how long I'll be able to do that.
What do you make?
Probably another $2,000 a month on that.
Okay. Is your husband able to work?
He has a part-time job. It's kind of whenever the store owner needs him. And so he has occasional income, but nothing that we count on.
Is he able to work?
A little.
So he's got physical limitations?
Yes, he does.
Okay, he's got health problems.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's part of, our situation.
Yeah.
We've had large medical bills, and we've also made some real bad cash investments.
Mm-hmm. What do you do that makes you $2,000?
I clean homes.
It is physically demanding. Okay. It's good money, but it's physically demanding. Hey, how many cars do you have?
We have a paid-off, old, very dependable pickup, and then we have the one car that we have the outstanding debt on.
Mm-hmm.
We also have an old Roadster that's probably, I would say, about a $10,000 value on it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but the Roadster is gone.
Okay.
You have not. I'm sure that's going to break his heart, but I'm sorry. It's gone. And then that gives us $10,000 to put towards the house, because the Roadster will sell for enough to pay off your car. We can leave $15,000 in your emergency fund, put $10,000 towards the house, and then that leaves you $17,000 to go. And you guys get in the business of the next 17 months or so getting that house paid off.
Okay.
Because with no debt at all, you can make it. It's not going to be pretty, but you can make it. Right?
Right. We don't spend money. I mean, everybody spends money. It costs money to do anything. But the main thing we do is we eat out, and that's not a lot. We don't go to the food anymore.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you want to keep this house, you're going to have to start living like you're completely bankrupt. Because you got to clean this mess up. You do not have wiggle room here. That's where all this stress is coming from in your stomach and why you called me.
Yes.
So you can't eat out. You're broke. Eating out is causing you to clean toilets.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. And so, I'm sorry. Now, in the future, you may be able to, but right now, you've got to get a Roadster sold, you got to get your car paid off, and you got to get your house paid off. And you got $25,000 in a Roadster to pull all this off, and a $2,000 income that's questionable because we don't know how much longer you can do this at 70 years old.
Right.
So we have got to get you clear of this debt before you start losing the ability to work like he has. Otherwise, you're going to end up selling this house and buying a condo for $100,000 and have a $100,000 slush fund to live on and have a life. Now, you can go ahead and do that now if you want.
Okay, I'm listening to you.
You got a $250,000 house, right?
Yes.
So if you sell it today, you're debt free. Take $100,000, buy a $100,000 condo, 2-bedroom, move yourself into it, and that's your retirement home. And that's how you're going to retire. And that enables you to not be stressed and not be worried. And you got $100,000 to invest over there that'll make you a little bit of money. And, that's a much better mathematical equation, but I'm guessing that that's going to cause an awful lot of emotional pain.
Well, and also, the HOA fees would be probably such as my...
No. You can live in a $100,000 condo in Oklahoma City.
It's just going to come down to making the choice, Janice. Like, you're going to have to make a choice. You're either going to get out of this debt or you're going to have to leave that house. Like, something has to give. This is not working right now, which is why you feel that tightness in your chest. But you can fix it. You've got several ways to fix it, but you have to make a choice and commit to doing that. You can't keep doing this.
He's going to have to work all his health will allow him. You're going to have to work all your health will allow you. You're not going to see the inside of a restaurant unless you're working there. You're going to sell the Roadster, and you guys are going to get serious about paying this thing off. Otherwise, you need to sell it and move to a $100,000 condo. You'll be better off. Or something like that. This is The Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. She's the #1 best-selling author and getting ready to be so again. The new book is Take Back Your Time, the guilt-free guide to Life Balance. It's on sale at Ramsey Solutions for $20, including an extra $50 worth of goodies, which also includes a ticket to the live stream event she and I will be doing on Balance. And that's on September the 16th. The book actually launches on September 14th, which is when we will ship it to you. Why would you buy it now when it comes out September 14th? Because we're going to give you $50 worth of stuff as a bribe to get you to go ahead and do it now. That's simple. That's called marketing, I think. Believe it or not, y'all, it's August here at Ramsey. We think of August as a second new year. We've noticed that once everyone is done with the distractions of summer, they're ready to kick things into high gear, and you have goals that you want to reach, like getting ready for Christmas, which is here in about 30 seconds, right? You got things you need to do. Well, to help you get back on track, we're running a great new deal every week, starting at only $10. This week, our back-to-school sale. Get up to 71% off books, kids, products, and curriculum. And today only, our team's marking down our family favorite, the Adventure Pack. Only $45.99. That's the lowest price of the year for teaching your kids the whole adventures of Junior from Financial Peace Junior. All of this at RamseySolutions.com. We're also having a lot of fun celebrating the pre-order launch of Ken Coleman's new book, From Paycheck to Purpose, with a $500 cash giveaway every week this month, and we're giving away a grand prize of $3,000. And I've already mentioned Christy's book, Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. All of this happening at Ramsey Solutions, including the cash giveaway. No purchase necessary for that. Check it all out. Daily, you have chances to win. Text CASH to 33789. CASH to 33789. Shelley is with us in Spokane. Hi, Shelley. How are you?
I'm going to get you. Blessed more than I deserve to be.
There you go.
Good plan.
What's up?
How can we help?
Okay. I love two things in life: planning events like weddings and saving money. And I'd like to combine the two and find a little niche where I can help couples to plan that party without spending the down payment on a house over it.
All right.
I just don't know how to do it. I do little things like when there is a clearance on kind of fancy wear at, say, Michael's for tables, I buy them on clearance. I buy stuff on Craigslist as far as tablecloths and stuff like that. I may have a venue that can be my go-to venue. Depending upon the wedding that I'm helping plan for my cousin's daughter. And I'm trying to do it sensibly, but I am not a business person, and I don't know exactly how to go about it. I know how to go about finding people that I need that can help me as far as certain aspects, but it's all really overwhelming. I don't know how to set up a website, and it's just, I really want to do this, but I don't want to fail.
Hey, Shelley, I want you to know that exactly what you said is what I've heard for 10 years. And you're not alone. Every single person getting started feels the exact same way. I hear those exact same words. I'm not a business person. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to fail. So I just first want to encourage you, you're not alone. And that's normal. You're doing something new. The great news is it doesn't mean you can't do this. You can do this and you will do this. You're going to do this like everybody else does it, which is just being scrappy and taking it one step at a time. So I want to give you some really tactical things you can do, because when you accomplish one tactical step, it's going to build your confidence. It's also going to help you make progress in this direction. Okay? If I give you a list of things to do, will you do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, they're easy, I promise. Okay, I'm not a scary teacher. I mean, I might seem scary. I don't mean to. Here's what I want you to do. First, I want you to do a little research on the wedding planning business. You can just stalk people in your area. You can stalk people online. I don't care how you do it. I want you to get a list of what are the typical services a wedding planner covers. You just need to know what those are. You probably know the basics, from cakes to linens to florals, that type of thing. But I want you to get a comprehensive list.
And
yes.
DJs.
I want you to make a whole list. Okay. And then that's going to help you know what areas that you need to source that you don't already have a source for. And that's just going to give you a good starting point. Okay. Then I want you to think about your pricing. There's several different ways to charge in the wedding planning business. You can do it as a percentage of budget. You can do it as a flat fee. Obviously, it will include what package people buy. If they just want you to help them day of, that's going to be less expensive than if someone wants you to plan their whole wedding for 6 months with them or a year. So think about your pricing, and you've got some options here. This is your business. I know that sounds scary, but it's not scary. It's exciting. This is your business. You can price it and structure the pricing how you want to, but I want you to do a little research on what's out there and what's normal and think about what you want to do. Okay, so first we're going to make a list of all the services that are typically covered so you know what you're going to cover and where you need to do a little bit more homework, find some sourcing. I want you to think about your pricing, okay? And then I want you to think about even some of the language around how you talk about your business, because I love how you talked about it to me. I think that could be your elevator pitch right there. I love planning weddings and I love saving money, and I want to help you do both. That could be it. It's clear, and it articulates your niche. You are the wedding planner on a budget. And that's beautiful. That's awesome. It's so clear why people should come to you, because you're going to specifically help them plan a wedding on a budget. I love it. So those are just some tactical, practical things. The other thing I want you to do is when you are planning this wedding, who is it? Your cousin? Your sister's?
My cousin's daughter.
Okay.
She wants rustic without country, and I've nailed a lot of it. We've got the venue, and we've got the catering all set up. Okay. I have all the tablescapes taken care of. Everything that needs to be done other than a DJ and a photographer and the event, the people that have the events at the place. Okay. Have contacts with both.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do. I think that's great. Here's what I want you to do. This is a trial run for planning a wedding for you. So what I want you to do is take notes. What are the things you didn't expect that you encountered? What are the things you learned? What are the things you want to do differently next time? What are the things that you loved that works well that you want to do again? You take notes on this whole experience from your perspective, and then certainly ask for feedback from this family member afterwards, once she's home from her honeymoon and all that. Say, hey, what could I have done better or different? If you do these simple tactical things that I've just given you to do, you are on your way to doing it, and it's going to build your confidence. But I want you to stay on the phone, Shelly, because we are having our Business Boutique Conference in October, 14th through the 16th. I'll be speaking along with Dave, a lineup of incredible speakers. We're going to give you a ticket to that event. If you can't come in person, we'll give you a live stream ticket, but stay on the line. We'll make sure Kelly gets you a ticket so you can come get all that you will need from marketing, sales, money, all the things. We're going to teach you how to start and grow this thing. So you're going to do it. And you're gonna learn what you need to be able to do it.
It's a 3-day conference, and it is packed.
Yeah,
you will leave
it's so fun.
Emotionally and intellectually exhausted.
In the best way.
In the best possible way. Because you listen, if you want to come down and goof off, don't come, because this is like we're going to turn on a fire hose.
That's right. We have a lot of fun, and we teach you a lot.
To get a drink, we turn on a fire hose. So it's you're going to leave knowing, and you're never again going to be able to say, "Oh, I don't know anything about business."
That's right. Every single woman that walks in that room or that tunes in online thinks exactly what Shelly thought. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a business person. I don't want to fail. And they walk out of there ready to charge hell with a water pistol. Like, they know how to do this. This one woman said, she goes, I came feeling like a mom with an idea, and I left a business owner. There's an identity shift that happens in those 3 days, and you're going to be there, Shelly. I'm excited for you.
That's Business Boutique. It is coming up in October.
October 14th through the 16th here in Nashville, or on live stream. You can get your tickets.
And all at RamseySolutions.com for the rest of you. This is The Ramsey Show. Chrissy Wright, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. In Buffalo, New York, Matthew and Tara are on the line to tell us their debt-free story. Hey, guys, how are you?
Oh, we're doing great.
Cool.
Excited to be here.
How much have you guys paid off?
Well, we started 10 years ago with about $65,000, but 3 years ago we still had $43,000 to go.
Okay. And what's been your range of income?
Ranged anywhere from $30,000 to $36,000 a year.
Okay. And what kind of debt was the $65,000?
It was a mix of $38,000 in school loans, $16,000 in family loans for our house, and $11,000 in credit card debt.
Wow. Kind of normal.
Very normal.
So what happened 10 years ago? What happened 3 years ago that got you guys going?
So 10 years ago is when we got married, and we started out just making minimum payments, planning to pay off the school loans, and eventually build a house. And 3 years ago, looking at it, we'd been at it for 7 years, and we still had $43,000 to go. It was getting pretty tiring, and so we decided to get serious. Tara got involved much more strongly. Helped us to start a emergency fund, and I have a small business, so my income tends to fluctuate a little bit. And so she put together an emergency fund, and we started doing a cash base. And then a year ago, we started following your plan.
Wow. How'd you find us?
I don't know. I think probably just somewhere on YouTube I saw videos about being debt-free. I love all the personalities, and so I kind of just grew up on watching videos and making life better for myself. And so I really loved all your stuff, and we're believers. And so to me, it was just like, wow, this is amazing. And it was just kind of easy to. I mean, the plan makes so much sense. So it was just like, let's just do this.
Okay. So when you got more involved, you went to Matthew and said, okay, now we're going to do it my way. We tried it your way for 7 years. Now we're going to do it my way.
Yeah. I mean, our upbringings financially were a little different. I actually grew up with handling cash a lot more. So I was super comfortable going all cash. Like if it's not there, we're not buying it because there's no money. But something clicked in me a couple years ago, and I was like, man, we just got to get out. This has been so long. It's been such a long haul. We work so hard. It was like, we just our money should be going where we want it to. And two, I want the kids to not see us ball and chain, not living out our dreams or the calling that God has for us. And so, we both got on board. Not that it really took a lot of convincing, but the proof was kind of in the pudding once some of the smaller loans started to get paid off. And the momentum was just phenomenal. It was like, let's do this. We kicked into such a high gear. It was so awesome.
I love how you guys describe that, because I think, Matthew, the way that you said it, you said, we got serious. And there's such a difference between plugging along, making minimum payments, not really going anywhere. No one's excited about that. No one's making any kind of progress with that. But when you get serious and you get committed, it does create that momentum you're talking about, Tara. And that's what makes the difference. That's what actually gets you out. Dave, I always quote you when you say you can wander into debt, you cannot wander out. You're going to have to get fired up. And you guys did. And you see the difference in the numbers once you got fired up. So well done.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
I say a budget. You cannot do it without a budget. I mean, I meal planned to the cent when I went to the grocery store, because I was like, this is what it is, and we can't go over that. And I think budgeting it, our electric, our utilities are pretty expected and reliable, but food, it's so easy to spend so much money. And so to me, it was you cannot do it without a budget, and you can't do it. I enjoyed doing it with just using cash only, personally.
Yeah, I would say before you can get out of debt, you have to stop going into debt. And for us, a huge key to that was having that emergency fund buffer.
Yeah, that's why we do that. I didn't start out with that as baby step one back in when we very first started, but I learned quickly that you've got to have a little bit of wiggle room there in baby step one to get moving. So, way to go, you guys. We're so proud of you. Way to go, heroes. You took control of your life. Ding, ding, ding. I love it. Well, we've got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you. That is the next chapter in your story for sure. You've changed your family tree and changed the whole direction of everything. And the last 3 years is a whole new chapter for you. And we've also got a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you, so you can give that to someone and pay it forward and get them started maybe on this idea of complete focus, completely laying your ears back and going into it. I love it. All right. So you got the three kiddos with you to do the debt-free scream?
Yes, we do.
Their names and ages?
Gracie is 8, Kenny is 6, and Vincent is 2.
Perfect. Sounds awesome. Good-looking guys. We see them here on the picture on YouTube popping up. So well done. Well done, guys. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew, Tara, Gracie, Kenny, and Vincent are 43, 65,000 paid off over 10 years, but 43 in the last 3 years, making 30 to 36. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah! That is how it's done.
That's awesome.
I love it. So beautiful. So fabulous. So well played. Yeah, and what's interesting is that they paid off almost all their debt in 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the vast
there's
majority.
another part of that story, but it's things change when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. When you finally say, "I've had it," that's when you open up a small business. That's when you get out of debt. That's when, the kids are made to behave for the first time ever. When you finally say, "That's it. I've had it. We're not living like this anymore."
Yeah.
And you have to reach that point. And it is a healthy level of frustration or anger.
Yeah, because it motivates you to do something different. It's hard to do something different, not just the discipline of paying off your debt, not going into debt. Just change is hard. The habit changing is hard. The mental energy to think about, we've got to sit down every month and do a budget, is hard. New things are hard, but if you're going to face that hard and have that discipline, you've got to have that visceral anger, frustration, whatever to motivate you, because otherwise you're not going to face the hard. But you've got to face it and make those changes if you're ever going to get to making your debt-free scream and experiencing that life. You have to actually go through that, but so many people don't. They get stuck at that's hard. I think I'm just going to keep it on. Keep them making minimum payments.
The sad thing is that normal in America sucks.
Yeah. And so widely accepted. We're all just okay with sucking.
But it's also, by the way, extremely comfortable.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Your comfort zone in America is really big.
Yeah.
You have a really big comfort zone.
Yeah.
I mean, you can wander around and do stupid and have a pretty decent life.
Oh, yeah. And people will applaud you.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, look at you. You've got look at your new car. Yeah, look at your new vacation." And you keep buying stuff that you don't need with money you don't have to impress people you don't even really like. And you keep on this path, and you keep on this path, and you just hang out in the comfort zone. And then something happens, finally, that jolts you awake and say, the pain of staying the same is now exceeding the pain of change.
Yep.
And that's the only time you'll change.
That's right.
You finally wake up and say, "I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick of this dull existence of mediocrity, and I'm about to bust up into something and create some excellence in my life."
I'm sick of not having any money.
Yeah. Sick of whatever.
Yeah.
Let's get her done.
Name it, feel it, and then do something about it.
Get it, baby. Get it. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, 1 Corinthians 9:24. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Florence Nightingale said, I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuse. I bet she didn't. Can you even imagine? Oh, my goodness. I love it. That's fabulous. Christy Wright, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author with a new book on sale. Take Back Your Time, the guilt-free guide to life balance, is my co-host today. The phone number here is 888-825-5225. Robert's in Oakland, California. Hey, Robert, how are you?
Good. Hi, Dave and Christy.
Hi.
My wife and I are in a good place. However, we do live in a very high-cost part of California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We just retired a few months ago, and we want to pay off our home, which is our only debt. However, our plan was to reach a nest egg amount to be able to pay off our home and then have our nest egg at a level where we can live comfortably the rest of our life. We're short of that goal, and I think I know what you would probably say, but because we live in such a high-cost area, I'm wondering what you think of my plan. And that plan is to grow our investments another $280,000 before we pay off our home.
Okay. So what's your nest egg today?
It's almost $1.5 million.
And what's it take to pay off the house?
$280,000. And our goal is to have $1.5 million after we paid off our home.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. How's the money invested? What's it invested in?
It's invested, it's in 403Bs and Roth IRAs mostly.
Inside of that, in mutual funds?
Yes, mutual funds.
So are you getting a rate of return 10% or north of that? Average?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm doing well.
All right. So let's just say 10%, because that's conservative, probably.
Yeah.
How old are you?
66.
Okay. Every 7 years, it's going to double if you don't touch it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So 1.5 is going to be 3 in 7 years.
Okay.
Or
minus whatever we take out.
Yeah, or 1.2, or 1.2 will be 2.8. Or 2.4, I'm sorry, in 7 years. So, I said 3. Yeah, 2 point. That's right. I'm sorry. So, you got to run your budget out. Can you not live on the income that $1.2 million creates?
Yeah, we can, but we might have to cut back on our lifestyle a little bit.
But you don't have a house payment anymore.
Correct.
And you still can't make it on the income. You can't live on $120,000 with no house payment.
Oh, yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Absolutely, we can.
Okay.
But, we're anticipating a withdrawal rate of around 5%, not 10%.
Okay.
That we'd pay ourselves about 5% of our investments.
Okay. So here's, you can do whatever you want to do. You call me and ask me.
Yeah.
If I woke up in your shoes, I'd write a check and pay off my house today. And I'd change my withdrawal rate to 7% until I got my nest egg where I wanted, and then I'd drop it back down to 5%.
Okay.
And you're going to come out at about the same place, but you will have had no house debt all through this time.
Okay.
And the house is worth currently, you said how much?
Almost $670,000.
Okay, so your net worth's $2 million, give or take. Good. Way to go, man! You did it. Congratulations. How much of this did you inherit?
Oh, around $40,000 from my wife and my parents.
So how did you become a millionaire? What'd you do? A $2 millionaire.
We lived within our means all of our adult life. We lived debt free, and we saved very well and invested very well. We were in ministry, so we never made a lot of money. We just lived frugally, and we invested well.
What was your average income through your life?
Well, it's probably 70 to 80,000, maybe.
So you never made $100,000?
Well, we did the last few years because my wife and I were both on staff, but only for a few years we made over $100,000.
And you got $2 million.
Well,
I'm so proud of you, Pastor. You did it, man. You lived out the principles of that book you've been teaching from. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Live on less than you make. Stay out of debt. Have a plan. I mean, this is what you did. And this is, by the way, what the typical millionaire does, the everyday millionaire in America today. They're all over the place, and they're not evil. They didn't steal it from anybody. And no, none of that money's yours. It's his. Now, he's a generous guy. He'll give you some if you're hungry. But, I mean, you did it, man. I'm so proud of you. Well done. Very well done. Yeah, if I woke up in your shoes, I'll be debt-free. Let me tell you something that you don't anticipate. Okay. You taught from the pulpit for many years, right?
Yeah.
And have you had this experience before I have from the pulpit where I teach a biblical truth, and then when I actually have the opportunity to walk in that truth, I have a different feel about it, a different insight, a different paradigm of it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
When you pay off this house, you're going to understand Proverbs 22:7 at a different level. The borrower is slave to the lender. There's going to be something in you that's going to flip like a switch when you pay this house off, and you're not anticipating that.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to that, and I agree with you. I feel with that.
Yeah, by the end of the day, brother. By the end of the day.
You're gonna feel it tonight.
You're gonna be singing hymns about freedom.
It's happening tonight, Robert. Hope you're ready.
You know, the times that you have something happen, like those that are last will be first. Mm-hmm. That I came to serve. Mm-hmm. I came to give life in abundance, Jesus said. And when you hear that the first time or two as a Christian, mm-hmm. or somebody that's a potential Christian even, you kind of hear it. But when you walk in it, mm-hmm. and it gets all over you, it's a different thing.
Yes. Yeah, it takes,
and you experience it.
It's going from your head to your heart, from just the idea that you understand intellectually to feeling it in your spirit.
There's a reality.
Yeah.
It becomes reality. It's no longer theory.
Yeah.
And that's true of a lot of things in life and in Scripture. But and especially someone who's devoted their life to serving God. Mm-hmm. When you do something that's, he's very mathematical. He's really got a plan. He's mm-hmm. a planner. And when you do something that you it's almost stepping out on faith a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's not, because he's got plenty of margin. Right. But it's not like he's taking a risk here. I mean, because, hey, Pastor, if you hate being out of debt, you can always go get you a mortgage.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not like you're stuck or something. But but what happens is, it kind of catches you off guard, because, I mean, I remember that feeling where I went, wow, it feels like cold mountain air just blew in the room, and fresh air, wow. There was a moment, and there's something that happens, and it is a spiritual experience, because there's a spiritual principle involved here.
Yeah.
And, the same thing's true that in the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil. My wife feels different mm-hmm. when we have an emergency fund. Yeah. I feel different when we have stores of wealth. And it's not because we're greedy, and it's not because we're hoarding, and it's not because we're not generous or not being willing to help someone.
Right.
But that margin that money gives you is a spiritual principle.
The security and yeah, absolutely. It's a stewardship issue. Just being wise.
Very cool stuff. Good show today, Christy.
This is fun.
Christy Wright, new book is Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. James Childs is our producer. Kelly Daniels, our associate producer. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.